So, it's one of those nights, huh, Master? One of those nights where you can't sleep? Well, don't you worry, because I have an interesting story to tell you. You may or may not sleep after hearing this story. This all started about 5 years ago on a Saturday night. I was all alone in my lodge house because living alone in the woods away from the city is kinda nice, but also not nice. Have I told you I had a female stalker? Well, I did, and she was quirky as all hell. She knew my information, like where I lived and the things I do online. I believe it was 11 o'clock. I was just doing my own things, watching some quality anime and playing video games like usual. 5 or 10 minutes later, I hear something strange outside, and it was loud enough that I could hear it, considering I have my headphones on. Keep in mind, I have my lights off everywhere in the house. Anyways, I looked through my cameras to see if I could spot anything suspicious. You wanna know what I saw through the cameras? I saw her, my female stalker. I got scared and a bit shaky. And do you wanna know what she was holding in her hand? It was very sharp and menacing. She was holding a knife and also a big bag on her other hand. Why was she holding them? That's up to you to think about. She made eerie movements towards the house like it was a ghostly figure. I knew it was my time to not be scared, and so I quietly went down the stairs from my bedroom and checked to see if all entry points of the house were locked. By the time I was done, she was 10 feet away from approaching the house. I quickly went back to my bedroom, and that's when I noticed that my window was wide open. I froze in place because I thoroughly remember it being closed and locked. I could not move my legs. Now, in my mind, I swore that my stalker was in front of my house and that I checked through each camera to make sure. I slowly took 3 steps forward to close the window, and then I hear her voice close by. Turns out she was behind me. She told me that she's been looking for me all this time, and I thought I could get away after our awkward encounter from the day before. Flashback to that day, we were at the park, and I saw her trip. She dropped a few things on the ground. I asked to see if she was okay, and I insisted on helping her pick up her belongings. Apparently, I dropped my wallet, and she picked it up without me knowing. We both made eye contact afterwards for only a few seconds. She had a strange facial expression, like it was like she recognized me from somewhere. I immediately looked away. It was awkward as hell. I immediately got away and stood near the pond to avoid any further awkwardness. I had to get out of the situation. Fast forward to the present, and I remembered what happened the day before. I pleaded for her to not hurt me. As you can tell, I was actually scared. She grinned at me and told me that she didn't come to my house just to hurt me. She had a different reason. I was shown a knife and a bag from her. I told her that she's carrying a knife in a weird looking bag. She was scaring me. You don't just go to somebody's house unattended with a knife and a bag in the middle of the night. Tell me, how could I not be scared? She didn't mean to scare me, and she was apologizing if I did get scared because of the knife. She knew it was my birthday, and I'm assuming she looked at my ID in my wallet to find me. Well, guess what happened next? She baked me a cake and figured that I would be alone that night. She felt bad for me, and she noticed I was avoiding eye contact from people, and I distanced myself from the area. She opened the bag and took out the birthday cake and my wallet with everything in it. But the thing that was messed up is that she went into my house unattended. Like, you do not have the right to intrude my house like that. I could have contacted the police at that moment. I then asked for her name, just for extra measure. Turns out, her name was Katsumi. I immediately recognized her name and her face. Katsumi was a previous high school sweetheart. I really forgot about her, but she remembered who I was. I couldn't believe my eyes. I told her I couldn't believe we got to see each other again. There was a tear running down her face. I could tell she was happy to see me again. Her hairstyle changed since the last time I saw her. It was a different color too. Her previous hair color was light brown. I guess she dyed her hair to black after we stopped seeing each other in high school. For some reason, she looked scary because of the long black hair. It reminded me of a horror film character. The whole long black hair and knife combination really scared the mess out of me when I checked my cameras. I really didn't think I would be able to sleep that night. But yeah, it was my birthday and I had no plans because I lived away from the city. Katsumi put everything she was carrying on the ground and stepped forward to give me a hug. She missed me a whole lot and wanted me to get back with her. I didn't realize how much I loved her back then. It gave me chills. Being the way I was, I wanted the same thing. To be her lover again. After that, we sealed the deal. We reunited as lovers again. And to think I was gonna be alone for as long as I live. We ate the cake together. It was a small cake, so we could finish it together. What, you thought this was gonna be a scary story with a bad ending? Of course not, Master. I would never be comfortable to tell you a bad experience that happened in my life. You know, some things are meant to be kept secret and personal. Another time, Master. What happened to Katsumi? Well, she's perfectly fine and doing well. Did you think she died? It's only been about 5 years since our reunion. Nothing bad happened in the time between. I never told you about Katsumi through the years of me working as your butler. I figured you would be curious about my life. I bet you're glad it was a happy ending. She lives with me in that same house, by the way. This might get you to think about things in a different way. I just thought this would be a great story to tell you. Well, it's about that time where I finish work and head home to see Katsumi. What's our relationship as of now? Well, that's up to you to think about. Maybe I'll tell you someday about me and Katsumi. Thank you for having me here. It was pleasant to tell you this story of mine. Now, I hope you have a good night. Sleep well, Master. See you tomorrow.